This video is going to be all about 30 things that have remained after 5 to 6 years of decluttering this house and getting rid of over 80% of my belongings. And I'm going to talk to you about why I'm keeping them. So this idea was actually brought to me by one of you guys, and I thought it was such a great question. What are the things that remain and why do I have them? All right, so let's start with one of the most important categories, and that is our furniture. So one of my favorite pieces in this house is something that my husband built several years ago, and it is this behind the couch table. So let me see if I can show you. This table, while one being beautiful, made out of real wood and extremely sturdy, also has been super functional for us. As a home that doesn't have a designated entryway, this is our entryway. This is where often we will drop our groceries when we first get in the house. And when our hands are full of things like book bags and groceries and all sorts of other stuff, this is a fantastic place to put everything down. This is a flat surface that is high traffic, but extremely necessary. So would I buy this again? Absolutely. All right, so my next favorite thing is this white couch that my grandma bought me a little while ago for my birthday. We went to a really nice furniture store that's, I think, only located here in Richmond, but it's called Wayside if you're looking for it. And I got this couch without any of the harsh chemicals that often come with furniture, but also it is extremely easy to clean. I know it is a light color, but really, with just a little soap and water on a rag, I can get anything out of this couch. So it has brought a lot of simplicity into my life. And I will say, because it is higher up, that was a big thing that I wanted in this house. My Roomba can easily go right under it, so I don't have to worry about moving the couch when I'm ready to vacuum. So the last thing I'm going to talk about in this room when it comes to furniture is this coffee table, which I think I got about 2 years ago. And I was really looking for something that was lightweight, easy to move, and easy to clean. And so while having a coffee table isn't necessarily a necessity, I really enjoy this one. I can pick it up and move it so it can be a seat if we're having a party. And because it is so light, it gives me more ability to have function in this room. So I know I've talked about these in particular many times, but I really love our side tables. The simplicity of craftsmanship and the straight, easy lines that went into this particular piece of furniture. It doesn't have any drawers, so it doesn't allow me, who can very easily become a hoarder of little things, have a drawer to stuff all those things into. I have to be very intentional. So when you're thinking about furniture pieces that you want in your house, think about, or use somebody like me who tends to squirrel things away if they have a lot of hiding spaces. So the last thing in this bedroom that I really adore is our bed, which is right behind me, and my husband made it to match the side tables. So we had thought about getting a larger size bed just because we have 2 dogs, and often my daughter will come in here as well at some point in the night. And so my husband really wanted a king size bed, but I was like, there's no way, because then you'd have to go make another one of these, because I absolutely adore this bed. The simple lines, that it's higher off the ground, which we never had that before. And so it's easy to vacuum or mop underneath it without the big hassle. So if you haven't noticed yet, I have a theme to my furniture pieces. Something that I really appreciate is when furniture is higher off the ground, because I got so tired from years and years having to lift pieces up off the ground to vacuum underneath them, or having mostly to ask my husband to help me clean underneath things, and I was just so sick of that. So if you are a lazy cleaner like I am, or really, I just think I like to work smarter, not harder. So now I just only buy pieces of furniture that are easy to clean and easy to clean under. So my last favorite piece of furniture is this desk behind me, which is just beautifully made with real wood, and the detail is simple yet very beautiful and elegant. I also like that this one doesn't have any drawers. So I know for me, because I do like to swirl things away, that having a lot of drawer space in things like my desk or my side table automatically are going to be clutter catchers. It's where I'm just gonna throw everything in. So I've retroactively not put drawers in this desk. When my husband was building it, I told him I didn't need any, because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just buying a bunch of stuff and then losing them within these deep drawers. I wanted them to be easily accessible and seen quickly by sitting on top of the desk. Now that is of course a personal choice, but it also makes me not buy as much because I can easily see what I have. So let's go to the next category now, which is something I'm sure a lot of you guys are interested in, and that is the decor that has lasted in my very minimalist house. So my favorite kind of decor definitely centers around things that people have made for me, people that I know who are artists have made for me. So the 3 pictures that are behind me were all drawn by 2 of my nieces and my mom, and we've hung them up in my daughter's room. They are just so adorable and very well done. The people in my family are so talented, it's amazing. But we have 2 pictures of my daughter on the side and then a picture of my dog, Biscuit, right behind me. When a piece of art or a piece of decor is made by someone you actually know, it automatically puts more value on it to me and makes it more sentimental than just going to Hobby Lobby and trying to buy a bunch of decor that really doesn't have any meaning to it. All right, so let's head back downstairs because that is where most of my decor is, and we're gonna start down in my living room. All right, so let's start with the picture up at the top, which I'll show you a little bit closer in a minute, but it was actually drawn by one of my old neighbors who's an amazing artist as well. And she was actually doing this for a children's book that somebody else was writing. So she was doing the illustrations for it. And it reminded me when I told her of Carrie Ann when she was a little bit younger. And so she ended up printing me out a copy and giving it to me. But also on this shelf, I have this vase, which came from Copenhagen. We went to last year for our anniversary. And often I will not get souvenirs when I go places besides maybe a postcard, but this vase in particular was just so gorgeous and so small and really reminded me of the simplicity but the beauty of Denmark and Copenhagen where we went, that I really felt like it was a good reminder of our beautiful trip there. And of course, if you have watched in my other videos, then you know that I am a huge plant lover. So I have gotten down to only a few indoor plants because I realized that while I really enjoy them and think they're beautiful, I can't keep up with too many. So this one behind me in particular, I have had for the longest amount of time, I believe almost 10 years. It started when it was just very small, like a couple of leaves up at the top, way before we moved into this house. And I have let it grow and it is just gorgeous. I love this ivy piece. I have almost killed it so many times, but the great thing about ivy is that it is so durable. I have left it out for many weeks and not watered it, and it has come back and thrived. So this piece in particular behind me is one of my favorites, but let's go see one of my other favorite plants. So this other beautiful monstrosity behind me, I call a Swiss cheese plant. I don't know what its real name is, but I got it at Aldi actually, which is amazing. Sometimes they have great plant sales, and this one I feel like just shines in this room. I'm one of those people that really thrives on bringing the outdoor in and having very neutral, mellow earth tones come in. And this plant, I feel just, it brings a sense of calm. If you're a plant person, you might understand what I'm talking about. If you're not, you probably think I'm crazy. But looking at this plant, it calms me down when I'm sitting in this room and makes me feel very relaxed. So this is definitely another one of my favorites, and on the list of something that is also very easy to take care of. So one of the most sentimental pieces in my house that I have held on to is this picture behind me. My grandfather gave it to me not long before he ended up passing away. He said it reminded him of my sister and I just think it's a lovely, beautiful piece to have in my home. And so that has remained as well. I don't keep a whole lot of sentimental things. I have to have a real reason why I'm keeping them and have a place for them in my house that I feel like makes them shine. And this piece in particular, I do feel like fits that bill. So another one of my favorites are these tassel curtains, which I got several years ago, and they have stood the test of time and gone through many rounds of decluttering and I've never gotten rid of them because I just think they're so beautiful, so light. And I also like to bring in as much light as possible. And these curtains do let in that little bit of light that I think is just beautiful in this darker, smaller room. So the last piece I wanted to share with you when it comes to decor that has stood the test of time is this Audubon print that I got a few years ago for my birthday. My grandma used to have these massive print copies of this exact Audubon picture and then several others. And I always remember as a child being mesmerized by them and how beautiful they were. I find that looking at nature pictures bring me a lot of calm and peace in my home. And so this one in particular, I am very lucky to have. Another one of my favorite things in this room is this shelf hook that we put up here because this is right in our entryway. And because we do not have a big entryway and we certainly don't have a large closet, this is where we'll hang our bags, and of course the dog leash is right there. So this is just a great place to, instead of dropping everything on the floor, We get it up off of the floor with these very simple hooks that I think I just bought on Amazon. Now let's talk about my favorite organizational pieces in this house. So by far, one of my favorites are these shoe baskets that they're not specifically shoe baskets. I think I just got them off of Amazon or Target. But the great thing about having a shoe basket as opposed to a shoe rack is that all that dirt that falls off of your shoes, you're not seeing it on the ground all of the time. Instead, it falls to the bottom of the basket, and then once a week or so, I will just go outside and dump the basket or vacuum out the basket and be done with it without all that dirt spreading around my house. So that's just my personal taste. But I love the size of these baskets as well because they're a perfect size to limit the amount of shoes that we are bringing in at a time. When we do want to bring in a new pair, we have to assess do we have room in our baskets, because these baskets for the three of us hold all of our seasonal shoes. And so when we are feeling tempted to buy a new pair of shoes, the basket gives us a new assessment and stops us from just frivolously buying extra, even though we don't need them. So another one of my favorite organizational ideas is to have small, beautiful baskets. So the ones that I have, actually my parents have gotten for me from when they went to West Virginia, went to a craft fair. And so it's not only is it beautiful, but it's really functional to have little baskets in places like you need them. Like downstairs on my behind the couch table, we put our remote in this basket, and I also put my chapstick in here, and my glasses will go in here. So because this is a high traffic area and it has things out that I always need, it's easy access right where I'm going to need it. Having one or two small ones where you find that you have little pieces of clutter, but you need that stuff like remotes and chapstick, for me, I need and I want easy access to it. So I had to create a good home for it. So another place where I really like the way I've done the organization are these baskets right behind me. I've labeled a few of them so that we know exactly where our laundry stuff should be going. I love these because it's obvious when things are running out. Before we got this shelf and these laundry baskets, we just put everything cluttered together, and often I found that I was rebuying things that I had already had. So if you can find some small baskets around your house and really designate them for very specific items like your laundry room, it's gonna help to trigger your brain know when you do need to buy new products and when you don't. So another organizational piece that I would 100% put in another home if we were to move would be this pegboard, and here's why. So I always felt like the drills that my husband really wanted for his woodworking side business were just scattered everywhere, and that things were very difficult to find, whether I was looking for them or he was, and they were always just spread out on the countertop that we have in here. But when we got this pegboard, everything was lifted and it's easy and quick to find exactly what you want. Pegboards are very helpful for things that you do want to easily access, easily see, like this, or I would totally do this if I was a crafter and had a lot of crafting supplies. I would definitely lift things off of the table or off of the desk and put them on the wall where I can access all of the pieces that I want. All right, so as we look at different organizational pieces that I would buy again 100% if they were to disappear and be gone, these baskets behind me I got from Target, but I'm pretty sure you can probably find them on Amazon. But they are great for your bathroom. What I have found is that I like having a big basket in the bathroom because I have a lot of things that I need to store away. I hated having every little thing just spread out in this closet. Because this bathroom doesn't have any kind of medicine closet, we needed a basket for that as well. But inside of these larger baskets behind me, I have smaller baskets. So everything is separated out really beautifully. There are hair products in one place, there are Band-Aids in another, and there's medicine separated out into smaller baskets. So what I would say is that when you have areas like this, like a bathroom closet, have and need larger baskets, a bigger container to hold your things, put smaller baskets inside to kind of designate each different area. Another thing that seems kind of silly, but actually is a really big game changer for me is this small wooden tray. What I have found with this wooden tray is that it holds our soap and my face wash that I use every night, and I like having these things out. But when you put them on a tray, it automatically makes it look more like one thing on the counter as opposed to a bunch of small things. So if you can get yourself a little tray like this, cheap and easy, it definitely pulls the whole look together and makes it look more organized. You guys see my little cat soap my mom got me? Isn't he so cute? The bunny, we used up the bunny finally and she's gone, so we got a little cat this time. So of course my next favorite, and something that's rather new, it's from Mother's Day. I did a whole video about this if you want to check out my closet makeover, but These are my new baskets that I got. I love the kind of earth tone look that these baskets have behind me, and they look like natural fibers, which I also appreciate in my bedroom. So they go with the rest of the vibes in my very relaxed, calm bedroom. So I would definitely either bring these with me or buy them again if I had to. So we're gonna head into my kitchen now, and I'm gonna talk to you about a few more things on my list of 30 of my favorite things in my house. But before we do, if you haven't yet joined this small minimalist community where we are so supportive of a simple lifestyle, then please hit that subscribe button down below. And if you are already decluttering with us here, then throw a heart emoji down below so that we know that we're all in this together. So let's go ahead in my kitchen for a few more things. So one of my favorites is definitely this very large measuring bowl, which my dad actually recently got me because I was looking for one. And I love it because it's not only I just use it as a bowl, but I can measure in it. And recently I just kept my salad in it because it does have a top. So when I'm making salad or pasta, I can put it in here to store with the lid. So to me, it just has so many different uses. My parents had one of these, and so I've been looking for one for a long time now. And finally my dad found one on the internet, so he ended up getting it for me. But I could not be more excited about this. I ended up actually getting rid of 2 of my yellow bowls that my grandma had given me when we moved in, because this one has a lid, so it's exactly what I was looking for. Our air fryer my husband got for Christmas, he really wanted one because my parents had one, and so his mom got us this, and we have absolutely loved it. We use it for heating up our leftovers or for making some chicken tenders and everything else in between. We've absolutely loved this. And now it is really large, so we do not keep it on top of our countertop because we have a very limited amount of space over here. But even though it's big, it's something that we use all of the time, so it definitely has been worth the space. So something I've definitely changed from over the years is buying more things that are stainless steel, especially those things we use a lot. I just found that the stainless steel is so easy to care for and take care of and easy to clean that I feel like I get to keep these things a lot longer without having to do any kind of replacements. And of course, I couldn't say nicer things about having a lazy Susan, especially for little things like seasonings or tuna or cans. I often felt like I was always losing them in the back of the container, so it has been a blessing to have this little Susan here. It helps me make sure that I am not rebuying things more than once. So in wrapping up what I love in my kitchen, I have this cast iron pan my mom gave me, and it is so much easier than I thought it would be to clean. So I've really enjoyed having it. It is heavy, so you need some upper body strength, some muscles, but with how easy it is to clean and that it doesn't have any of that non-stick stuff that they've been saying is poisonous and bad for you, I've really enjoyed having this addition. So on the random front, one of my favorite things that I have is this pop socket. You just hook it to the back of your phone. You can pop this up so it's easy to hold on to your phone if you're talking on it or using your phone. And then also you just push up and there are your cards right there. I find it so simple, and then I'm not having to bring an extra bag with me if I don't want to. A lot of times I go without my purse. I just need this and my phone and my keys, and I often just put them in my pocket. So this has been a game changer for me in order to stay organized and make sure I have all of my things with me. So my purse, this leather Madewell medium-sized purse, is a semi-recent purchase. My mom got it for me from the Goodwill, but I cannot say nicer things about it. It has just a few little pockets inside of it, and so it is just the perfect size for me to be able to bring those few extra things that I like to bring for my daughter. I had a fanny pack kind of thing for a long time, but then I just realized that there was always a few extra things that I really wanted, like I wanted to bring my grocery bags with me, and I needed a slightly larger size. So without going super huge, I found this medium-sized one, which is leather and a very good quality for a very good thrifted price. All right, so this has been a really fun activity and something that I would totally suggest you try too. Finding your favorite things and then really deciding, talking out loud or writing them down, why you like them and why you would want to get them again if they were to disappear. But the last thing that I have for you guys are my UGG boots. These are not your typical, these are leather UGG boots. They actually were a children's size, but luckily I'm like a size 7, so I fit them. But these have been amazing. They were way cheaper because they were kid size than I would have paid if I got Blunderstone, I think is the other big brand, or anything like that. So
I really enjoyed these. I wear them all season long because they are also my lawn cutting shoes. I will say that now I've recently been spending a little more money when I do want to buy shoes, and I've noticed a huge difference in the quality. These you can barely tell any wear, and I can easily clean them up and wipe them down. Spending a little bit extra money for me when it comes to things that I'm using all of the time and want to keep for years to come has really made a lot of sense.